Welcome back, everybody, to my channel and another installment of our Fanduel Fridays. Last week, this was, I think, one of the better lineups I made. I think I made a Joe Burrow one that won $27, but I can't find it. But Tony Jones Jr. was a total just throw in there and just hope for the best, point 0.7, whatever. But Jared Goff had a great week. Derrick Henry was solid in the first half, and then there was nothing in the second half. 2 fumbles. JJ was amazing. DJ Chark was the awesome cheap play. Lockett kept up his touchdown. Chig was super big for us for how cheap that guy was. DeAndre Swift, I had Miles Sanders in, and I decided in the morning to take him out for DeAndre Swift, and what a terrible mistake. The defense got 4 points, but whatever. Overall, I think last week I bet 40 and I won like 38. So pretty much won my money back. As you can see, I have nothing in my balance right now. I'm a broke boy, so we're not going to put any money into it. We're just going to do a few lineups in my Stars and Stripes League that I was in first in last I looked. Is there a way? Let's view league. See if I can view league standings. Yes, I am still in first by not very many. So I need to have a good week. It's been a while since I've had a good week in that league. Okay, so it's kind of a weird week. You've got, 3 games tomorrow, and so Josh Allen's off your slate, Tua's off your slate, the Vikings are off the slate. I don't remember fully who plays, because I quick looked this morning when I was at work, and I was just trying to gauge who's going to be our guys, and it's kind of tough with quarterbacks because I don't think I wouldn't go any lower than Dak Prescott. Goff has a tough matchup against the Jets. Mike White is out. I mean, if Mike White was healthy, I would play Mike White. But since it's Zach Wilson, and I think that guy's a bum, I'm not going to risk Zach Wilson. But maybe the troops rally, and they're all about Zach Wilson. I mean, Brian Rippon, I'm pretty sure he's starting for the Broncos now that he was ruled out, as in Russell Wilson. I mean, I don't think you should get cute and put Brian Rippon in your lineup. Don't touch a Chief, or sorry, not a Chief. Don't touch a Texan quarterback. We're going to come to quarterbacks a little later, I think. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this video with the lineups. Usually I'm pretty long-winded, but I think this week's a little more straightforward, so we'll build a few different ones. I like Miles Sanders against the Bears. It's a great matchup. He's been pretty dang good every week, and every week I'm like, nah, I'm not going to put him in. 29, 10, 28, some in-betweeners, but just ride with Miles Sanders. And if you're not going to ride with Miles Sanders, you should ride with Jalen Hurts. So we'll kind of do one of both ones. Again, I love Tony Pollard. I'm not going to spend up this week on any of these guys. Eckler's not a bad play, but I'm not going to spend up on running backs this week. We're going to try to look for some cheaper options. It's not really that great. I remember when I was looking, it wasn't that great. So I might just go Tony Pollard. Night's not bad. Let's do that for now. Tony Pollard. Sorry, not Tony Pollard. Miles Sanders and Zonovan. We'll go to receivers. What's our average budget at? Let's get the cheap stuff out of here. I think the defense I like is Atlanta. Not that I like it, but I also don't mind the Chargers this week. Don't mind the Bengals and don't mind the Broncos if you want to spend up. I mean, it's $400, but you know me, I'm cheap. Okay, tight end, probably Dalton Schultz, and you pair him with Dak Prescott. You could you could spend up on Kelsey, spend 8K on Kelsey. I think that's a great idea. We'll make a lineup with Travis Kelsey. We'll just go cheap right here. So 70K or 7K is what we've got for a budget. Receivers are all pretty top heavy in the price range, so it's kind of hard to find the right guy at the right price with what we've got. It's been a while since I pitched Chris Olave in a lineup. It feels like he hasn't played football in like 8 years. I don't know why. Let's put Chris Olave in a lineup. Good matchup against the Falcons. I know I picked the Falcons defense, ironically enough. Deontay Johnson, pretty good. Josh Palmer will be a low guy. Let's do Josh Palmer. Not a lot of people are going to have Josh Palmer in lineups. We're going to have Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. So playing Josh Palmer is a little risky. Maybe Drake London has Desmond Ritter's quarterback now. Maybe Drake London's a guy you look at. I don't want to go super, super cheap, though. It's just, look at all these injuries, too. It's kind of tough just to find the right guys at some of these positions because, like I said, it's really top-heavy. I think you could be all in on the Eagles this week on a lot of players. Garrett Wilson might be awesome, but I don't trust Zach Wilson, so I don't want to play Garrett Wilson. Mm, I don't think you should pick any of these guys. If you're gonna pick one, you pick Chris Godwin. Mike Evans looks like he's never gonna score in the NFL again. Um, Tough. It is tough out here. Let's do. I mean, do we want to do Deontay Johnson? Is that like what we're gonna go with? Sure, for this first lineup. Let's finally pick a quarterback. Let's pick Dakota. So I'll tell you right off the bat, I don't like this lineup at all. Jerry Judy. I mean, sure, Juju. It's gonna be just kind of. When I was looking, I was like, man, I'm just not gonna like anything that I'm gonna build. And Dak and Miles are fine. Zonovan's fine. Olave's fine. But I don't like this. Schultz is fine. This is fine. And defense is a defense. I don't like that a lot. Let's try to do a different one with Jalen Hurts. As you can see, I've not been any better at scrolling. Joe Burrow's not a bad play. Herbert's not a bad play. Dak's not a bad play. And then that's pretty much all the quarterbacks that I would say are worth playing. I mean, what Desmond Ridder is 65. Saints defense is like mid. Yeah, it's mid. Who knows what to expect from Desmond Ridder and that run-heavy football team. So we'll go Jalen. If I go Jalen and Tony, it's so much money already, but we're going to do it. Jalen and Tony. I don't know which running back to pick out of Tampa, so we're not going to pick either. But if you go any further low, it's just like you can't even find that spot cheap guy like, yeah, that's the week. Jerry McKinnon had 2 touchdowns last week. 6 for 22, 7 for 112, and 2 touchdowns. Like, is that going to happen again? Probably not. Foreman, I mean, he could be like okay. He did okay against Seattle. I mean, Cordell Patterson's been really quiet since he's been back from injury. The 1 week he had 17. I think this week he came back 2, 10, 8, 6. It's just hard to trust. But with Ridder, they might go more run heavy, so Cordero might not be a bad option. Make it a little, maybe not simpler for him, but make it safer. Maybe Latavius Murray's not a bad play. I mean, that's not a good rush rank, but okay, maybe he is a bad play. Fournette and Rachaad White, who knows, man. 13 for 56, he fumbled. 5 for 21. Cool. What did Fournette do last week? 4 for 13, 6 for 33. Oh my God. Okay. Well, we'll pick Cordell Patterson. And we'll go cheap here. We will pick the Chargers defense. A defense that isn't very good, but I think I picked Schultz last time. I can't pick Kelsey in this lineup. I just don't think it's going to work with the money. Joe Everett might not be bad. Pat Frymuth might not be bad. I think Taysom Hill last time he played tried to throw a touchdown, or did he throw a touchdown? He caught a touchdown. Maybe Taysom Hill has a decent week. What is he, 62? Is there any good cheap options? Hey, I don't think you can play Cole Kmet this week. Do we just pick Chig again? Is Chig just the dude? Let's pick Chig. Yeah, I like it. Okay. So 7K with 4 spots left. It's going to be tough to pick anything because the prices are just kind of shitty this week. AJ Brown's 82. He had another amazing week last week. If you're going to play Jalen, you're going to want to pair him with somebody. Do we just pair him with Devontae Smith because he's cheaper? That might be the play. He's been really coming on the last few weeks. Just looked, I mean, he's a good player. It's just the ball's been going his way more. So maybe we go with that. Devontae Smith. Again, if you're going to go cheap here, I really don't see anybody that's worth a cheap play. I mean, do we think Trevor Lawrence is going to have another awesome week throwing the ball? I don't know. DJ Chark, I don't think so. I mean, Chris Moore looked pretty good last week, right? 10 for 124. Do we gamble on the Chris Moore because they're going to have to throw the ball anyways? Sure. For this lineup, we'll go sure, and we'll do that. I don't think there's anybody else down here that's super low that's, like, even worth your time. Well, actually, Jameson Williams might be worth our time. I don't know how much more he's going to play. He had 2 for 41 and a touchdown. Williams looked like he could be in for a big line and wide open. Logging on 9% of snaps. Meanwhile, Josh Reynolds, he's okay. I mean, Do you just get cute and play Jameson Williams in a lineup? That's Jamal Agnew. That's, oh my goodness. Okay. How bad is this? Chris Moore, Jameson Williams, Chig. Okay, let's get rid of Chig then. And Travis Kelce. And that leaves you with 67. Deontay Foreman. Jerick McKinnon. George Pickens. That's not a bad cheap option. He did okay last week, didn't he? 3 for 78. I had him on the Joe Burrow one that won my most money. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on IR. I think, but McKinnon's kind of pricey, isn't he? 62. Oh, okay. Pacheco is what, 7,000-ish? I haven't seen him yet. Can I read? Whoa, jeez Louise. Okay. Well, if we go McKinnon here, so let's say we go cheap, can we... I mean, you can't get rid of Jameson Williams then in this lineup and think you're going to get anything out of it, right? It's 5,700. No, okay. Alright, so this lineup was kind of like just thrown together, and there was like no real plan when I was doing it. So let's try... We'll do 2 more real quick. I want to try like a legit Jalen Hurts lineup. I think Cordell's an okay pairing with him. I think it's Cordero, and I always say it wrong, so my apologies that I can't pronounce his name right ever. Yeah, it's Cordero. This is pretty solid. It's a little cheap here. Again, we're going to put Falcons or Chargers defense. Since it's a 4 o'clock game, we'll just pick the Chargers because I like 4 o'clock windowed players. I think it would be awesome to have Jalen Hurts and Travis Kelce and Devontae Smith. I don't think we're going to be able to make it work. But that's going to be... I have a plan for this lineup. That is the plan for this lineup, is to fit Travis Kelce in this lineup. So we're going to put Chris Moore in this lineup. 69. Okay, I'm going to have to go pretty cheap at flex. Just do George Pickens, huh? High upside. Drake London, maybe. No, I'm not going to double down on the Eagles. I mean the Falcons. Wrong bird. Okay, Pickens, 74. Let's just do this. 68. David Montgomery plays a really hard team. You have a backup quarterback against a pretty good defense. I picked your receiver. How disappointing of a year has Najee Harris had? I can't trust you. Wow. Okay. It's just not... You don't find exact value that you want. So, like, I like this. Like it. Don't mind it. Like it. Low-key like it. Like it a lot. Like it. Don't like it that much. So, like, 1 out of... Let's go 1 out of 5 here. It's a 5. It's a 4. 3. 5. 3. 3 to a 2. 5. I don't care about you at all. Man, it is just tough to make a lineup work. Like, Dave Montgomery would be a cool play if you weren't playing the frickin' Eagles, you know? Cool, we're going to do it anyways. Call it good. I don't have good 4 o'clock splits. I have 1 4 o'clock game. You know I hate doing that. Hurts, so let's give you just some like actual advice. Let me just building lineups and kind of waffling here. Hurts is a good play this week. Play Jalen Hurts if you can make it fit. It just, until he proves that he's not going to put up frickin' 22 plus every single week, make the money work for Jalen Hurts. Patrick Mahomes should be in line for an okay week again. Plays a terrible Texans. Herbert's going to have high value in passing. Everyone throws, I think people throw the ball against the Titans the most in the NFL. Look at his attempts. They don't run the ball. Herbert's a fine option because you know you're going to get the volume. You know you're going to get the yards. You just got to hope for a couple touchdowns. Burrow against not a very awesome Buccaneers defense. It's Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Kind of beat up receivers, though. Check on his receivers. Burrow's fine. Fields plays a really tough Eagles team. I'm not going to play Justin Fields. Unless he's going to give you the rushing production, which he's shown he's going to every week. So Fields isn't bad, but I would stay away from it. Dak is really safe this week playing the Texans. Goff plays the Jets. It's tough, but the Lions look like a really good football team, which is cool to say. I'm not playing Derek Carr against the Patriots. I'm not playing Ryan Tannehill. Like, look at his look. I mean, he did fine, but like, I personally am not gonna play Ryan Tannehill. It's Andy Dalton, not Jameis Winston, as far as I know, right? Oh wait. Oh, I thought I just wanted to go back. Okay. So like, are you gonna play Andy Dalton? No. Are you gonna play Sam Darnold? No. Are some people gonna play Desmond Ritter? Yeah. The people that make multiple lineups will probably play Desmond Ritter. Um, I'm not playing Rippin. I'm not playing Zach Wilson. Like, is he worth the risk? Maybe. Maybe Zach Wilson. I mean, I don't know, man. No. Don't even think about it. I'm telling this to myself. If you think about it, it's not a bad idea. But those are the quarterbacks I like. I'm not gonna go super I mean, I'm not gonna spend that low on quarterbacks. Pollard's a fine play this week. Um, Play these guys at your own risk if you can make the money work. Same with Joe Mixon. I like Miles Sanders this week. Pacheco's okay. James Conner, meh. It's tough, and it's with some of the main guys out that you put in your lineups every week. It's really tough. Receivers are hard. If you can get CD and Dak in a lineup, that's great. Amon-Ra's tough this week. He's got a backup receiver or backup quarterback. I mean, these are expensive. Good, that's good. Expensive with Zach Wilson, who I don't like, but maybe has a good week. Keenan Allen could be lined for a nice week again. T. Higgins, don't know about him. Jerry Jeudy got fined, but if he's okay, Brian Rippin. Juju might not be bad. Williams might not be bad. It's all wishy-washy kind of guys is how I feel about it. So let's make one final lineup with Dak as my quarterback, and let's see if we can make a lineup that I don't absolutely hate. We'll do Dak and Miles Sanders, and then we will do Cordero. Okay? I want to put CeeDee Lamb in a lineup. I mean, I don't trust his production, I guess is why I don't want to put CeeDee Lamb in a lineup, but I'd rather put his tight end in it. So we'll just pick CD for now. See what we can do. I think we should go one cheap receiver, and that's going to be our guy Chris Moore. We'll get the defense in to make the money look better and to make me feel better. So right now we have all 1 o'clock games, and you know me and the 4 o'clockers. Let's try to look for some 4 o'clockers. Keenan Allen's a 4 o'clocker. And maybe I guess some of the matchups we want to stay away from our 4 o'clock games. I mean, is it the week Mike Evans scores a freaking touchdown? He had a deep, oh my god, I'm getting mad looking at it. Let's do, okay, so this is going to make my budget look just awful, isn't it? Okay. What if you go real cheap here again, like George Pickens, DJ Chark. And a really nice week. A couple nice weeks. Let's do George Pickens, I think. Or Drake London. Or Josh Palmer. High volume. Josh Palmer, 4 o'clock game. Boom. 6,500 to round it out. Latavius Murray's a 4 o'clock game. Foreman's a 1. Tyler Boyd. What are you looking like? As Higgins hamstring, which makes that to the wide receivers. Confirming the Bengals over the side. That was another dude to play. Okay. I haven't found another 4 o'clocker I like. I was gonna try to put. Okay. Oh. Okay. Is that the cheapest defense? LOL. Okay. So I like Dak. I like Miles. This is okay. You could remove CD Lamb, honestly, and put something else, but then you're not going to have your stack, and you'd want to put Dalton Schultz. And I'm not a fan of playing 2 tight ends, like in my flex, in my position, because I just think tight ends are like one of the most useless positions in fantasy football. If you're not Travis Kelce, you're not scoring points. It's just a simple matter of that. Dallas Goedert was solid before he got hurt. Mark Andrews has not had a very good year. Kyle Pitts was a bust this year, and he's hurt, sadly. It's not Kyle Pitts' talent. I don't think it's the offense he's in. But just tight ends suck, is what I'm trying to get at. So if you spend up on Kelce, and if you don't spend up on Kelce, you could triple stack. You could do this, Dalton Schultz. You have more money to put at your flex here, which isn't a bad play. So 8K we can go up to in flex. Okay, then you can play Travis Kelce. But let's play Keenan Allen. Then you have Josh Palmer, though. Okay, so we're not going to do that, because I don't even know what I'm building, apparently. Do we want to do Jerry Judy? Do you want to go weird and just put Chris Godwin here? Which leaves you with 1,000, which means you could spend more here, here, here. So if you take out Josh Palmer, that gives you 75. Is there anything we like? Juju or Jerry Judy? Them being next to each other has messed me up multiple times in this video. That's okay if you spent down, but I think you just keep Josh Palmer here. Chris Moore, don't upgrade from there. I think I like that's cool. I mean, Cordero is the only one that I could see that you maybe get a little more out of. Donovan Knight, if you like that matchup more, let's do that. So this is probably the best lineup I've built so far that I think I'm okay with. But it's just really, it's tough. It's a tough week, and I'm gonna have trouble building lineups. But this might be the one that I like the most. So I've talked about a handful of guys. Hopefully you have better luck than I did making this lineup, because this was not. It's just a tough week, and I know I've said like 7 times, but when I look at Fanduel and I can't find any one or two things I like a lot every week, it's challenging to build stuff that I think is going to win or score a lot of points. But Dak's got a good matchup. Stack it with CD, cool. Then you got to get kind of cute with some of these cheaper options. This will be a low volume play, I think, in most FanDuels, in most tournaments. Like, people are going to pick Everett and Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, so Josh Palmer might be really awesome to play here. Schultz is a good try-stack if you're going to go 0-3. Chris Godwin gets the volume of receptions. Is he going to score touchdowns? No, because I think the Buccaneers suck. But it makes the money work, and it's not a bad look. Hopefully you guys have a lot better luck than I did making lineups, but just, if you learned anything from this video, is look at some of the guys I like a lot, or the guys that I mentioned that I like a lot, and build around them to what you think you can maximize the most value out of the money, out of your budget, I mean, and find what you think can score the most points this week. I know that's the goal every week, but I think this week specifically, find your nucleus of guys, of your Herberts, your Jalen Hurtses, your Daks, your Burrows, your Josh Jacobs if you want to go there, Tony Pollard. Find your guys that you want to build around that you think have good matchups that even I've mentioned, and go from there and build out. So start with Tony Pollard and Miles Sanders, and then build out from there to try to make your money work. That's probably the best approach this week, and that's the best advice I can give you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully we all win some money this week, because I think it's going to be a tough week, but I believe in us. Let's go win us some money. Thanks for watching.